Hi everyone, welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. My name is Corinne, and if you don't know me, then you should. I'm just kidding, you don't have to. That's just kidding. The title of this video is I Lied, and I really wanted this to be my first video, even though this is not makeup related, because I really wanted you guys to really know like why I've lied. For a couple months now, I have been doing Facebook Live and just, gaining supporters and just seeing what you all like and what you don't like and how I should kind of prepare for this YouTube channel. I really want to make sure that this channel is very positive and makeup related, but then other things related too, if that's what you guys want. So if you want anything specific, please let me know in the comments down below. So the title is I Lied, and I lied because I couldn't tell my truth to my family yet because I wanted to tell them in person. So the moral of the story though is that I lied and I wanted to just kind of come on here and apologize preventatively, because I mean it's not like a big lie, like it's not like anything about my character or like something super serious, but it is a lie, and I wanted to kind of clear that up for everybody. So as you guys know, I've been kind of saying on Facebook Live that I have a fiance, Daniel, and that's not the truth. So he's not my fiance, he is actually my husband. So yeah, I am married. It's kind of crazy to say, like, I'm married. It's kind of weird. It's not weird, but it's weird. So I kind of just wanted to like tell you guys how we met and how it all kind of transpired, and yeah. So basically, Daniel, my husband, he went to a little tiny school kind of in the middle of nowhere in Alabama, and it's called Vincent Middle High School. He went there for middle school and high school. He like grew up there. So he went to the same high school that my mom taught at. And so originally, like when I was starting college or when I wanted to think about college, I wanted to be a math education major. I wanted to teach math because honestly, I love math, and which is weird. I love math and I love talking to people and I love teaching people and really just like to kids and kind of being a mentor as well. But I went to Vincent High School to shadow some teachers so that I could, gain some experience and kind of see what it's like to be a teacher. And so I was there kind of going to different classrooms and different class subjects and like watching the teachers while they were teaching their classes and stuff like that. And so after one class, I went to my mom's classroom and I was just standing out with her in the hallway before the next class was about to start. And then walks by Daniel, and I like look at him and I'm like, ooh, like you're really attractive. But I didn't have the lady balls to say anything to him at that point in time, because I was like 18 and I had like no self-confidence, no self-esteem, just from everything that's happened in my past. Good God, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, like I saw him and I was like, oh my God, like you're so cute. Like what? Like who are you walking by? But I never said anything. I just never had the gusto to say anything to him or to introduce myself to him or anything like that. But apparently he knew about me because my mom was the volleyball coach and I played volleyball and I was there frequently, and my mom had school pictures out, and like everybody at that school kind of like knew who I was just because my mom talked about me a lot and all of that. So he kind of knew about me but didn't know me, and then I saw him but I guess he didn't see me, and it was just a whole shebang. Anyways, so then I graduate high school, I go on to college, he graduates, he does his own thing, like all of that kind of good stuff. And then I was actually like in a really abusive and terrible relationship for about 2 years, and I learned a lot about myself, and I also learned like a lot about like different symptoms of abuse, and not even symptoms of abuse but like signs of abuse from someone that that claims to love you and that, you know, kind of lies to your face for like 2 years straight. So I was in that kind of relationship. I finally broke it off after a very long time, which it should have ended much earlier. But when you're in an abusive relationship, it's really hard to leave. And now looking back at it, like, I understand why that is. It's such a true statement. But yeah, anyways, so like I was in that relationship, finally broke it off. I was in Nevada for Christmas. I was just on my phone all the time. And so Daniel had followed me on Instagram and was like liking my pictures, but honestly at the time, like, I was getting quite a few of likes. I wasn't really paying attention to who all was liking my photos, so I just kind of wrote it off. But then I guess I didn't realize that I actually had followed him back, but he just doesn't post that. He didn't post that much, so like I never actually saw him on my feed. You know, stupid Instagram algorithm. Yeah, so like I saw one of his pictures and I was like, oh my god, like, I know him, like I've seen him before. Oh my god, like that's the hot guy that I never had the lady balls to say anything to like 4 years prior, which is insane. I slid in his DMs, hashtag shoot your shot 2017. Basically, like, that's how it started. I slid in his DMs. I was like, yo, your jawline is everything. But yeah, so like we started talking on Instagram, and then I was like, well, you should have my number. And he was like, or I asked him like, do you want my number? And he was like, is that even a question? He's so cute. And then I gave him my number and we were just talking and talking and talking. And he helped me through a lot of stuff that I was going through at that time, which is a whole nother video. He was just basically just there for me the whole time, and was just, you know, such a great person, and truly was like the most kind and innocent human being that like I've really met in a very long time. It was just so sweet. Not sweet in like a child sweet way, but like sweet in like finally like there's this guy who likes me for who I am, who respects me for what I do and who I am, and you know, respects who I've become as a person and like all this kind of stuff. And he's had a crush on me for like years. He told me like, oh, I've had a crush on you since like high school. Like when I saw your picture on your mom's desk, I was like, are you kidding me? Like what? And then like he just didn't see me in the hallway and like low-key could have like avoided so much heartbreak and so much crap like through that terrible relationship if he would have just seen me in high school, okay? Like that's what I could have been, whatever. So our anniversary is New Year's. So I was in Nevada for Christmas, and really just a lot of crap was happening in Nevada, and I was just really tired of it and I wanted to go home. So I went home. I drove my car from Alabama to Nevada, which is like a 34-hour drive, mind you. 34 hours is a really long time to be sitting in a car with a cat. Okay, I had a cat, I was in the car, and we were, you get my point, okay? It was a long time. So I was driving back to Alabama in my car. I drove back from Nevada and I went to see him on New Year's. We started dating like right then and there. Like we were just talking like the whole month basically of December, and then we were just talking like all the time, like texting all the time. He had a job, like a full-time job, but would text me at work, which you're not supposed to do. Whatever. We don't follow the rules if you haven't noticed. Yeah, so then he would come and visit me, and then I would go and visit him, and we would just kind of go back and forth from Montgomery to Pell City. Sometimes we'd meet in Alabaster and like whatever. I mean, like it was just like constant, just like that for basically like 5 months. So from January till like May, we were just constantly seeing each other and just constantly talking and just like all the time, just constant communication, which now I can really appreciate because nobody else really did that. Like no other dude, guy, person that I ever dated in my life had ever communicated like that with me, for me, to me, all that kind of stuff. Like never happened. It just never did. So this was like the first time that like I really experienced like true communication and like somebody who actually really loved me and really cherished me and really wanted to be with me for all of the right reasons, you know? And so it was amazing like how that kind of just happened like that. So then I graduated college May 12th, 2018. This like this May, low-key thought he was gonna propose to me at graduation because he like asked me about like rings. And I was like, okay. Daniel and I and Daniel's mom, which love her, she's amazing, we went up to Tennessee for a little family weekend, like gathering or whatever. We went up there for like a couple of days, and on those couple of days we went on a hike, and it was like this really pretty, like green, beautiful, like just forestry, and then a quarry, and then just like all kinds of really pretty places. We were hiking around, and of course I was wearing flip-flops because I'm a freaking idiot and I didn't realize we were gonna be hiking, so I didn't wear tennis shoes, I wore flip-flops. Still to this day, don't know why I did that, like stupidest decision of my life. Literally could not walk to save my life. So we were going down like a little hill, like full of rocks, like literally full of rocks. And I was like, I need help. So like, Daniel, can you carry me? Like, I need to be carried down this hill because there's no way I'm making it by myself without breaking an ankle. So like, Daniel, can I have a piggyback ride? Like a child, can I have a piggyback ride? That's basically what I asked him. He was like, yeah, sure. So he piggyback rides me down the hill to like the end of this quarry, and it's so pretty, and it's just like this big old rock on the side of them. Like, I mean, it's just so pretty. So then like we're sitting there, I was like, oh, this is cute, whatever. And then everybody starts to walk back up the hill. So I like turn to walk back up the hill, and he grabs my hand and he's like, hey, hold on a second. And I was like, what? Now by this point, like, I didn't know when he was gonna propose to me. I didn't know like any of that. I didn't know when this ring was gonna be on my finger. I had no idea. So then he was like, you know I love you, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you know you make me like a better man, right? And I was like, oh my god, this is not happening. Oh my god, like I'm freaking out. I'm like, what? Like, what? So so like all of that, he says his spiel and he gets down on one knee, and I swear to God, like as soon as his knee touched the ground, I said yes. I was just like, yes. Okay, so yes. So then he puts this ring on my finger, which I'm gonna show you. So this is the ring. So it's really super pretty. That is my birthstone. It's a sapphire, and it has all kinds of filigree and all kinds of really pretty stuff, you know? And one thing that I will say, and that happened, like he personally designed this ring. For you ladies out there that are still like not engaged, or you're not married or anything like that, first of all, wait for the right one, because he will show up and he will show you that he is the right one, and there will not be a shadow of a doubt in your mind that he is the one. So I promise you, if you wait and you let that person come into your life, like don't go searching for that person, because then it won't happen. Like let it happen. Let it happen to you. Like don't force things, because forcing it 9 times out of 10 isn't going to be like the best situation. Now you can argue that like I forced it by like DMing him, but I didn't force him to buy this ring. I didn't force him to love me. I didn't force him to do any of that. Like he willingly wanted to do all that for me and with me. So that's my advice to you ladies. So he proposes to me on May 19th. A week after I graduate college, he proposes. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. Like I'm good now. Like this is fantastic. So I was still in the midst of like accepting a job for, you know, post-collegiate job. And I was just a math major. Like I wasn't a math education major. I wasn't an engineer. I wasn't, you know, any of those majors. I was just strictly just math. So I didn't know if I was gonna go get my master's or PhD. I didn't know if I was gonna go and be a teacher. I didn't know like what I was gonna do. I had no idea. So I was in the midst of like deciding like what I wanted to do with my life, which very scary, very scary. Just like try to know what you want to be before you start college. Like that would be extremely helpful, but if you don't know, it's still okay. I finally decided to take a job down here in Florida, which is where we currently live. We live in Florida, and it was the best decision of my life. So we were engaged. Obviously I told my dad like, hey, we're engaged. His whole family was there, so they knew. And yeah, so like I was engaged, and then I was like, okay, well, are you gonna move with me to Florida? Like, are you gonna, because he had a job, like mind you, he had a full-time job in Vincent. Like he had a job, he had money, he had everything he needed. He had his dream car, he had everything. And he was like, yeah, I'm going with you. And I was like, okay, well, realistically, there's money that is going to have to be involved. Like there is money that we need that I do not have. So this man that I love oh so much sold his dream car, sold it, quit his job, and got a personal loan to pay for everything that we needed. I was like so mind blown at the fact that he would do such a thing. But then at the same time, I shouldn't have been, because I knew that if it's the one, like he's supposed to want to do things like that for you, because that's just, anyways. So yeah, so he like sold his dream car, he sold everything, got rid of everything, and was like, I'm moving with you. I'm packing up my stuff and we're going to Florida and we'll figure it out together. Like that's what we're doing. I was like, okay. Like it was that easy. I was like, okay. Like you got it, boss. Like that's it, you got it. So then we moved down here to Florida. I started my job, and here's where the story kind of gets interesting. So I grew up in a Baptist church, and I grew up knowing that premarital sex was wrong, or according to my church and according to the Bible and according to just kind of religion in general, like premarital sex is deemed like wrong. And so we were engaged and living here in this apartment by ourselves with our now 2 cats, sleeping in the same bed and trying not to have sex, which if you guys love anyone, you know how hard that is. And I'm just gonna be like 100% real and honest with you guys. It wasn't working. I'm just gonna be super honest. I feel like it'll be okay. Like if you guys just see the real me and understand like really what was going on. So like we were trying to stay abstinent and it just wasn't working. Like we would have sex and then I would just like go to God and be like, I'm so sorry, and just feel so guilty about it, and just like this kind of recurring cycle of just guilt, like guilt on top of guilt on top of guilt, and just asking for forgiveness over and over again. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. And I was literally insane for thinking that we could go on engaged and just try not to have sex. Like I was insane to think that. In 1 Corinthians, it says that if 2 people cannot control themselves, if you 2 cannot control yourselves, it is better to marry than to burn with passion. And I was given that scripture by a friend and a mentor, and it spoke volumes to me. Not just because it kind of like condemned me in a way, because like we could not control ourselves, which I am a control freak, so the fact that I couldn't control myself was just weird to me. If you can't control yourselves, it's better to marry than to burn with passion. So that's what we did. July 6th, we went to a courthouse down here in Florida, and we signed pieces of paper, we said vows. Granted, nobody was there, nobody knew, besides like our really close friends. And we got married, and it was beautiful. And I literally felt a weight like being lifted off my shoulders, not because I could like just freely have sex, like that wasn't the moral of the story, that wasn't like the end all be all goal. But at the same time, I wasn't feeling guilty for like what I had been doing and what was going to happen in the future. Like it was just really hard to try to keep up that facade of, oh, we're engaged, sleeping in the same bed and not sleeping together, like not like having sex. Like that's, you know, kind of crazy to think about. And it wasn't working. Like just to be plain, simple, honest, wasn't working. So we just stopped. Like it was just like, you know what, this isn't working. We have to find a solution. We weren't gonna sleep in 2 separate bedrooms. Even though we have like a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, there's no way that we're gonna sleep in separate bedrooms. Are you serious? Like, no. You know, it's 2018, like we're not doing that. So talking about it now, it still kind of is, I wouldn't say condemning, it's just, that's just the way it was for us. And it's different for everybody, and everybody's story is different. Everybody goes through things differently, and it's not your fault. And it's not anybody's fault. I just think that people are different, and that people's stories are different, and people's circumstances are different. And if your circumstances call for something extreme, then that's just a circumstance. That's just the way it is. So we got married, and then I started Facebook Live. Well, it was really before that I was starting Facebook Live, when we really were actually engaged. Like, we were still engaged, and I was doing Facebook Live. And so like when I would say like, this is Daniel, like my fiance, I was not lying then, because we really were we were engaged. But then we got married. But then I couldn't say that, oh, this is my husband, because my family watches me on Facebook Live. My family watches my social media. Like, I have my family on social media. I don't have 2 separate accounts, like for family and then for regular people. Like, I don't do that. So I couldn't say, oh, this is Daniel, my husband. I couldn't say that. So I had started to say like, oh, this is Daniel, my significant other. This is Daniel, my fiance. But like one time I almost slipped up and said husband. And I was like, this is Daniel, my fiance. Like, it was that close. I was like, ooh. So like, I was really praying that nobody was watching me like on Facebook Live that day, because I really almost messed that up. Like, I really almost got ourselves in trouble. So we were planning on telling both his mom and my dad in person, not together necessarily, but in person, because I felt like this was something really big that we should share in person. His mom was coming down here to visit us, and so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to tell her. A week after that, we were supposed to be traveling to Nevada, which I actually just got back from, and I was gonna tell my dad because he was supposed to be there. Well, then dad calls me and lets me know, hey, I'm not gonna be in Nevada. When you go to Nevada, I'll actually be in Alabama, like trying to sell the house that we used to live in Alabama. It's like, well, crap, because that just ruined all my plans, like, to tell you in person. So, and I didn't say that over the phone to him, that's what I was thinking. His mom came to visit, and I asked a couple of my mentors like what I should do, like how should I tell my dad, how should I tell her, like all that kind of stuff. And they were like, well, first pray about it, and that obviously was my first go-to, but then, you know, realistically, like, how do I do this? Like, how do I tell them? What do I say? How do I explain what happened, you know? So then somebody said to me, well, why don't you just get on FaceTime with your dad and tell his mom and your dad at the same time? And I was like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that's basically what we did. I FaceTimed my dad, and his mom had sat down and made us like shrimp and scallop scampi, and like had made us like this whole elaborate meal. Like, before I even told her we were married, she made us this awesome meal, and I'm like, yo, I love you, like, where have you been all my life? Sat her down and had my dad on FaceTime, and I was like, hey dad, I have something to tell you. And I have really something to tell the both of you. And of course they thought I was pregnant. They thought I was pregnant. Like, they were like, Like, my dad wouldn't even like look at the cell phone like while I was talking to him, because I legitimately think that he thought I was pregnant. Like, it was not a good vibe, I guess, that I was giving off, and I was trying to explain to them, but whatever. They know now. I'm not pregnant. Things are good, right? So like, I told them like, we're married. We're married. We're proud of you. They were genuinely proud of us, because it wasn't like, oh, let's just go get hitched, like, let's just go do it. Like, it was a thoughtful process. It was a spiritual decision. It was a grown-up, mature decision that ultimately was the best for our relationship and best for our lives. And now they know. And when we went to Nevada this past week, I told everybody on my side of the family that we're married, and they all took it really well, like really well. And then his mom told his side of the family, and they took it really well. So like, his older brother's wife texted me and was like, oh my God, congratulations. Like, I'm so proud of you. You're awesome. All that kind of stuff, which, you know, they received it so well. So now I get to tell you guys and everybody in the world that I, in fact, am married. Daniel is my husband. And I really hope that you guys can really forgive me for this lie or slight not truth, untruth, slight lie It's not slight, it's a big deal, but it's not like, I don't know how to explain it, whatever. I hope you guys can forgive me for it because it wasn't to spare you guys, it was to spare my family. And because I felt like that was just something so huge that I wanted to express to them directly. I wanted them to know, like, I got married. Like, that's huge. Like, I am now with the person I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. Like, we are bonded together now. We are legally bound. We are a married couple. And it was so great to be able to tell my whole family in person and to be able to express my love for him to them and just all that kind of stuff. And so now that I've told them, I feel like now I can tell you guys. So I really, really hope that you guys will forgive me for explaining Daniel a little differently than he actually was. I hope you guys can forgive me for lying to you for about 2 months. Because it was a lie. And even though it wasn't like a bad lie, it was still a lie, and I don't like lying, so yeah. Well, anyways, that's it for story time. I will be starting to post makeup related videos and tutorials, so let me know what you guys want to see below in the comments. Also, let me know what you thought about this video. Did you like our story? Did you like that I lied to you to tell my family in person? Do you think it was a good idea? Let me know what you think about this whole story and about everything down in the comments. Don't be hateful because there's no room for hate in this world. There's already too much going on without us spreading it, so don't spread it. Spread love and positivity, but let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Let me know. And also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I will be starting to post makeup related posts on here. I will be doing anything that you guys really want to see and want to do. So whatever you want to see, let me know, and I will do my best to post every other week on Fridays, all of my makeup related tutorials and all that kind of good stuff. So if you guys don't mind, please subscribe to my channel. If you are new, hello, very nice to meet you. Again, I am Corinne, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and share to all your friends, and obviously do not forget to subscribe. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.